society, social media. Your comment, sir?
I couldn't agree more. We allow social media to become a truth when there's before we actually understand it. There's so much misinformation that is out there constantly, and people jump to conclusions too fast. I believe that that's probably more the case with my age group. The Gen Zs out there, they're growing up with it. They get it. They decipher it a little bit faster. Some of us can't tell the difference between AI generation and and what's real at this point. You ask my daughter, who's 14, she can tell you just like that. I agree that it has become a cancer to our society. We have got to learn to sit down and interact with each other. Too often you go into restaurants, you see everybody with their phones like this, and they're not even communicating. Family members are doing the same thing. Kids are playing games rather than interacting with their parents because it's easier to babysit with the phone, and that's from a father of 6. We do our best to monitor it, but at the same time, it's there. I'm not saying that social media led to this assassination on Charlie Kirk, but I do agree with that statement.
The governor, Spencer Cox, also said, and I'm going to quote directly now, he said, "The assassination is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It's an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times." Your response to that, sir?
Stu, you think about this. What did Charlie Kirk do to anybody? He wasn't a lawmaker. He didn't make laws. He wasn't politically elected. He simply gave the opposition an opportunity to debate him in an open setting in their backyard. He went to their campuses when no one else was going. No one else. There wasn't any politicians. There wasn't anybody else doing what he did. He saw a vision at 18 years old and decided to take the discussions, not arguments, take the discussions to campuses where politicians had abandoned. And it truly, as I would say, taking it in, and I don't mean this in a fighting way, but this is the way that we refer to it, taking it into the enemy's camp. And what did he speak about? He spoke about traditional values. He spoke about his Christian beliefs. He would refer to scriptures all the time in the Bible, and he would debate you all day long from historical, political point of views, from the Constitution to the Bill of Rights, to our founding fathers and the statements that they had written. And he was able to do that in a non-consenting way. And and yet somebody want to silence that. Why? What was his threat to you? What was it that Tyler Robertson thought that he had to take Charlie Kirk away from his beautiful bride that he adored and loved? Why was it that he had to take away the love of her life? Why was it that he thought that Charlie Kirk was so threatening that he had to steal the father away from 2 beautiful children? What was it? And so the governor was absolutely right. Charlie Kirk did exactly what our republic, what our democracy is supposed to be, have an open and respectful debate. And he did that every day, and that's why the Gen Zs loved him. When he first started going to campuses, Stu, it was nothing but just hatred coming towards him. He started getting followers of thousands that would show up and support. And every time they would get out of line, he would calm them down, and he would actually say, "No, we're respectful here. We're going to be respectful." The only time he would get upset if somebody was being unruly, and he would say, and I would say too, you can't argue with crazy, and so sometimes you've got to move on.
Senator, Kash Patel, who directs the FBI, he also addressed the press conference. He went to great lengths to say how proud he was of the FBI and the speed at which they had concluded the investigation. It was in less than 36 hours from the actual shooting to the apprehension of the suspect. 36 hours. He's been under some criticism recently about his effectiveness as FBI director. Do you think he's resurrected himself?
Stu, I literally just text Kash, my friend, right before we went live here, because I said strong. He showed true humility. Kash wasn't trying to steal the spotlight. Kash didn't talk about how good he did and what his response was. He said in 33 hours we built a partnership from state to federal to local, we all work together and in harmony. He talked about allowing cops to be cops. He bragged on all those that was involved, from the DOJ down to the sheriff. He showed true leadership, not by leading by words that we've seen from the past directors, but he showed true leadership by the humility that he portrayed when he was speaking, and by the effectiveness of law enforcement all being in the same boat, all rolling together. So I've been a fan of Cash from the beginning. I am so proud of my friend right now, the way that he handled this and the way that he was willing to give others the credit at this very critical moment when the world is truly watching.
It is indeed. Senator Mark Wayne Mullin, thank you very much for being here today. Important day.
Thank you.